this than you, maybe. I hope that you're able to take something from this talk here and you're able to implement it, because there's a big shift for us internally with the team. Now, just want to make sure that perfect. Make sure I got it. All right, okay, so just so you guys are aware, we scaled up the team. So I was selling, transitioned to CEO. We were hitting the ceiling, wasn't sure about what the next level and how to get there was. So I transitioned out, figured out what a CEO should be doing, and what are the barriers with growth. Dove into all those books I shared with you earlier, started studying and then implementing. And then we broke through. We were hitting 1,000, we broke through. We hit 1,400, 1,700 sales we did in 2021. We did 1.4 billion that year. So the team members, you can see where we're at now. We hit this level, and then COVID hit. We actually picked up, and I was running the company from online. And so I made a decision that I can actually run the company being down in Florida. And that was a big mental shift for me. And I was like, it was actually scary, because it's like, what will competitors say? I know I can do a great job. We got great leaders, right? But we made that transition. Now, when that transition happened, I was running the team from online, flying back at least every quarter. I started looking at real estate down in Florida. And it reminded me a lot of 2008, 2009, when deals would actually cash flow. Because for us, you used to be able to drive up to Barrie, and you could find a cash flowing deal, right? And then Aurelia, and then Midland, and then Sudbury. But I couldn't find them anymore, and rent control was a really big deal. Like, you can't raise rents in Ontario. It's hard for our investors, which we work with a lot of. So when we were down there, I thought, there's a big problem in Ontario. We need a big solution. And so we started looking at the 100-unit apartment buildings down there, value add. We go in, we renovate, we sell, and you return 20% plus return. So that's where we built this other vertical of Ferris Capital. Okay, so we raise money in Canada, and we buy these big assets, and we sell them in two to 5 years. We renovate them over a period of 2 years, and we sell them. So the reason I'm sharing this with you, so we have 18 members and then just under 100. Both of these companies, what I'm about to share with you, we implement on an ongoing basis, okay? So this stuff works. I'm actively doing it, okay? This is a really good one here. So this is an example of a deal that is actually available right now. So 18.5% returns, 104 units. And we're at this point here to 100,000. We're just at the back end, but this is the type of deal that we're doing on Ferris Capital. The reason I'm sharing this with you, yes, there's some available spots. You can reach out, go on Instagram and look at it. But what I'm about to share with you is not only for a real estate team, but it's also for all other businesses. Okay? It's one of the best glue that holds a company together that I'm going to share with you. So first is the question, what are the two biggest people problems with growing companies that we face? I'm going to ask you guys this. What are the two biggest people problems with yourself that, especially if you want to grow, that you're finding? Just throw out something. Retention, yeah. Relinquishing control, yeah. What else? Training, yeah. We talked about it a little bit up here. Accountability is a big one. And the second one is communication. As you start to grow, there's a big problem there with communication and accountability. So I'm going to show you how we can fix those two problems. And here's the example. You ever play the telephone tag game, right? Telephone, you're at the dinner table with us. We have 9 kids in our family, right? So there's like 11 of us going all the way around the dinner table. By the time you get to the end, it's a different statement completely. Okay? And so that example is the reason why, as you start adding more people within your organization, communication starts to be a real problem, right? More than one, you got one-to-one communication is one thing, but as you start scaling up and you have more people, there's more complexity to it. And so this diagram here shows it in a real way. So you have one one-to-one communication, this means that you have two-way communication. So John is speaking to Sally and Sally is speaking to John. Okay, that's two-way communication. It's easy when it's one-on-one. I talk to you, you tell me, you tell me, we're in the know. But when you add one more person, it increases the complexity of communication by like 400%. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you got 6 different ways that people can communicate to somebody. Okay, versus 2. Do you see that? And as you add one more person, 4, now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do you see that? So if people aren't communicating effectively, what happens then is people aren't in the know. And that's how companies become very bloated, inefficient, and they can't run very fast. Does this make sense? This is not talked about a lot, but with any sort of growing organization, if you're looking to add one more person, you have 2, you and somebody else, and you're adding one more, understanding this is really important, okay? So this is gonna lay the foundation of what I'm gonna be going over here with you. How about hiding and disengagement when it comes to your team members? You have somebody that's hiding, not really doing work, and they're not actually performing, but you're not really sure because there's no sort of accountability or open loop there with them. Like hiding team members as you start to grow can be a real thing. And then how about disengagement? You know that currently in companies, 60% of people are disengaged? That 15% of them are actively disengaged. Actively, like they're terrorists within your organization, 15%. And then you got 25% that are engaged. Now you probably think you're like 90% engaged, right? But the reality is this is real. So how do you combat that? That's a great question to ask as you start to grow. So here's some other things that can come up with scaling companies. Team members feeling disconnected. Like these are all things, if you're hearing this, what I'm about to give you is a solution for all this. Team members feeling disconnected, not feeling heard, random people quitting, frustration, ongoing drama with delivery of service, drama, right? People dropping the ball and having to work late, and then to make up, dropping the ball. People feeling stressed and overwhelmed. A players upset that leadership allowed B and C players to continue dropping the ball because the top leaders, they're not actually measuring them in any way. Would you like a tool that would help solve all this stuff, or at least help you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. First, I got a question here for you. What's the most powerful form of accountability? Powerful form of accountability.
Love.
Yep. That's actually probably more right than what I'm about to say. Pure accountability is that nobody wants to look bad in front of other people, right? So like use that to your advantage. Pure accountability. Here's the answer: huddles. Daily huddles. Huddles. The daily huddle is a short meeting that teams or companies hold every day to sync up on their work. Now, huddles for your agents can be weekly or it could be daily. My partner, John McCarowitz, so he scaled the largest real estate team as the CEO and president of Mark Spain Real Estate, if you heard them. They sold the company to a private equity group, and he's now he's partnered up with me on Ferris Capital. They ran theirs daily. We run ours weekly for the sales partners. But for the rest of the team, it's daily. Daily. And I'm going to share with you how we do it. So here's, the why. The daily huddle can save everyone an hour of needless email updates and ad hoc interruptions, random meetings, right? Huddles. So how do huddles work? So you report on 4 things on a daily basis for an update from the day before, or you can share good news, a key metric, what your top priority for the day is, and any steps or challenges you currently have. Okay? What are they for? We have 2 sets of huddles. Management meet at 8:30 every day. All the leaders for each of the departments, and then their departments meet throughout the day after that. And everyone's at a different time, okay? So we have 2 sets of huddles, and they're daily, every single day. So here are the rules. 100% attendance, start on time. We don't start a minute late, we start on time. Virtual huddles. Everybody has a screen, so you don't have like 3 people huddled around one. You're in a meeting, right? Isn't that awkward? You got like 3 people huddling around, and then you got everybody else has their own monitor, and then there's another boardroom with some people. It's like when they're speaking, it's hard. If everybody has their own screen, generally with online meetings, if everybody has their own screen or you're in person, it's when you're doing mix, it's difficult. 15 minutes max. If it's 16 minutes, it's a meeting, and we don't want another meeting. We want to huddle. Okay, under 15 minutes, 5 days a week. The ability to stay on track, take offline, has to be assigned to somebody that is setting up the meeting. So somebody is accountable to say, hey, we're not like problem solving here. We're not saying that, but hey, why don't you guys take that offline? So when there's a conversation that's happening with the group, it's quick responses. It's like, okay, I got a quick answer. Hey, what was the update there? Yeah, okay, great, move on. Okay, so it's very quick. And then if there's anything that you need to go deeper, you say, hey, why don't we take that offline? And then you book an ad hoc with all the key stakeholders in that, okay? So why do they fail huddles? And they fail because of generalities. So here's a generic statement. Okay, this drives me crazy. I have a meeting with the new referral partner segment. Who's a referral partner? So that's generic. Nobody wants generic. They don't really care. It's like, how does that even mean anything to me? Why are you even telling me that? But if they say, I'm meeting with Remax Canada CEO Bob Smith at their headquarters in Toronto for 10 a.m. to discuss co-hosting a 60-person agent referral workshop in Barrie for the middle of November. That is something I can work with. I might want to attend, right? Here's some things that you were able to pull from that specific statement. Is this resonated at all? This is like gold. This is gold. Like this is the stuff that binds companies together and creates stickiness. Right? It's really powerful. I might want to participate in the event. Is 60 the right number? I know of another low-cost venue. Rather than there, maybe there was another spot that somebody can state, right? Does November work given our other commitments, right? These are all things that everybody hears directly from the person's mouth because they're on a huddle together. Everybody hears it. That wasn't a chain, like telephone tag, like I shared with you earlier, okay? So, if you do implement these, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna guarantee get pushback from your team. Guaranteed, guaranteed, guaranteed. After time, if you're consistent with it, they will learn to love it, and when they're gone, they're gonna feel like they missed out, FOMO, of what happened in that meeting. But you gotta be consistent, and it takes 2 or 3 months to start to get into a rhythm, and it's gonna be awkward at the beginning. It's gonna be clunky, but the better you do, it's like a muscle, and it's a skill set that you got to work into your company with any sort of growth. Okay, so those rules and everything that I set up for you will help you implement this for the long term, because execution over the long term is about doing the little things right on an ongoing basis. And if you're not all clear what everybody's working on, 2 people can be working on the same thing and not know, where they should have been collaborative. If they would have brought that up on their update, they would have known about, hey, oh yeah, I was actually about to work on that same thing, let's connect, right, sync up. So those connections happen all the time, and especially if you're working virtual at these meetings, it's really powerful to be able to do that. So You can follow me. I'm doing more and more tips right now on Instagram, so you can follow me. We got our deal deck on there, that deal I shared with you. But any questions, feel free. You can message me there and follow me. And I'm just giving you guys a lot of value right now, moving forward with some of the things that I've learned through the year. So, is there any questions here? How did I do on time? I tried to keep it under 30 minutes. Okay. Any questions about this or anything else? And I'll stick around for a bit too. Yeah, I'm gonna take this question, then I'll circle.
This is a little off topic, but what's the big thing for you for recruiting this year? To find, you got to interview a lot of people if you're hiring 1.5%. So how are you finding those people?
Well, right now they're coming to us.
Okay.
Yeah, like we're at a level right now where like 1.5%, like people that are applying. We have 100 people applying, and we'll bring on like basically that's the ratio of 1.5%. So somebody's got to be really strong now. As sales, continue to, increase, then we'll go back into, more active recruiting. But I think that's something that you're always recruiting and connecting with people. And what I will say is that I wouldn't just rely on existing agents. 80% of our agents weren't licensed, and we trained them there, but they had the right qualities about them. Like I meet them at a coffee shop. There was a connection through a connection. I have a conversation and say, hey, like you'd be really good at this, and you plant the seed, and then maybe not right away, but maybe like 6 months later they come back to you. But I think you're always looking to find the right people, and then you can train them your way. I think that's been probably the best way for bringing on rock stars, train them up, and then long-term approach. Because I found, again, with agents, I've sat there at my office, I'm like, how much do you make? 100,000 gross. It's like, I can show you, our average agent is like 200 grand net. I can show you how to make 200 net. Just come on, transition over. I think you're the right fit. I can show you how you're going to do that here. Yeah, but what's your split? It's like, what's more important to you? What the split is, or how much money you put in your pocket? I like, here are numbers. Here are agents. 200,000 net. What's your split? And then it was just, he just couldn't get it through his head. So I think that's where, if you bring on an existing agent, just know that you're going to have that conversation is going to come up. And I found it easier if you can, it's like Blue Ocean strategy, right? You can go and look for everybody is trying to find existing agents in the market right now, and there's 100,000 agents in Canada now and 2 million in the States. So there's an amount there, but there's like over 30 million people. If you go fish in the 30 million, I mean, nobody else is really, not a lot of people are fishing there. So I find you can get better talent, and then you get them licensed, and then next thing you know, you can train them up if that makes sense.
80% unlicensed?
80% weren't licensed prior to coming on.
Yeah.
And then they got their license, and we trained them from scratch.
Right.
They're friggin' ninjas, these guys. Yeah, they're badasses, right? To use that, but I don't mean that in I mean that in a way that there's a humble confidence in their ability to execute, and they know going in that they're the best in the world for the client because they've been trained. Everything I've learned, we put in, we train them how to do that, and they need to prove to us, and confidence comes by executing and getting small wins along the way. You got to stack that evidence on so that they can, new agent starts, they're walking along kind of like, timid, and then they get a couple wins and you start to see them standing up a little bit more straight. So the goal is to get some wins in as fast as possible for them so that they can strut in a humble, confident way that then self-propels them to more sales moving forward.
Thanks.
There's a question here, I think. I heard somebody. Oh, maybe not. Okay, anything else before I pass the mic on?
You have Mark here, so if you have any questions, this is the time to ask. Anyone, any questions for Mark?
How do you handle the pushback?
How do you handle the pushback?
What pushback?
On the huddles, you said you're going to get pushback. It's a mandatory 15 minutes.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
And then you're doing it again and again. You got to show up, right? You can't. This isn't something that you're going to be delegating to anyone. You're like, this is like a baby that needs to be nurtured. And what happens is over time, you're training them, right? So specifics, right? You're training. They push back. Oh, I'm too busy. I'm telling you, you're gonna hear it all. Too busy. I don't have time. I'd say after about 2 to 3 months, they're gonna start to be like, oh, this is pretty good. Next thing you know, you're gonna be doing it, and they're gonna be like, oh, I love these huddles. Wow, why didn't we do these earlier? It's like, right? So I think it's just about, as the leader, you know better, because this is proven, and you're doing this for the best for them. And I think that trust is really important. I mean, Ravi, you have trust with your team. If you say something is going to help and you're persistent with it, they're gonna follow you. But that's where at the beginning it's like, just trust me. Like, we're going to execute on this. This is going to be very good. It's going to actually save you time. Just trust me on this. I think you can start with that, and that'll help.
Talk to me about the size of these huddles. Are they 20 people, or do you break down management team and so on and so forth?
I found, so it should be I found 15 people. Anything more than that's too much. It's like, in general, it's like a minute per person, right? So if it's under 15, that's ideal, but you gotta move quick with 15 people to get through all 4 of those points for each person.
If you have 2 or 3 people not show up, no reason, are they off leads or what do you do?
Yeah, I'd be concerned. It's like, hey, for me, I'm more concerned if they don't show up. It's like, is everything okay? It's like, they should give you a heads up. Like, if I miss a huddle or I'm gonna miss it, I text my partner, John, now. I'll text him. It's just like, listen, I can't make it there. This is, here's where I'm at. But yeah, if 3 people just don't show up, I don't think they understand that this is a commitment we're all making, and over time they won't want to miss it. I'm telling you, they'll like it. Even this is actually even powerful for 2 people. Like, just because there's 2 people, I'd say that this will help. If you have an assistant that's serving you right now or is working with you, they will love that they got a certain time with you every day. And it's hard, right? Because we're, as an individual, it's like, I don't like commitments, right? I don't like committing at a certain time. But they'll love that, and it'll actually make you more productive as well if you have a set time every day.
Hey, Mark.
Sorry, I don't want to steal Kathleen's going to get something really good here, so.
Just one last question. I'm going to go off topic from this, if that's okay. I just don't know if I'll be able to steal you.
Yeah.
I want to circle back to your beginnings, I guess. So if you can remember that far back, what would you say was the most pivotal thing? Was it just referrals, flyers, online Google ads, Facebook ads that transitioned you from getting to that 200 deals, or how did you hurdle past scaling?
So what was what was one thing?
The biggest tool, was it just investing in repeat and referral systems, or was it online ads? What
from
flyers?
like a lead generation standpoint, lead generation.
Yeah.
I think you probably have something that you do really well that you're generating business. I think what that is for you is to go deeper in that, and with more tenacity and focus is what I'd recommend. Because what worked for us may not work for you. For me, it was originally it was newspapers. We went big in that, and then we went big in billboards and whatnot. But if somebody came in and tried to compete with us on billboards, they're going to get smoked in our market because we have all the best spots locked up, right? It's hard. It's hard to do that, and so that's where I think you got to go deep on what it is that you do. So there's not one thing. I know with the lead gen, hopefully that was helpful. Go deep on your existing item, and with any leads that come in, that you actually have someone or yourself that's actually not dropping those and you're staying on top of them. But outside of that, it's Alex Hormozzi talks about golden BBs. I don't know if you guys follow the guy at all, but instead of the silver bullet, it's a bunch of little things, and you probably do something really well right now. I'd say like go deeper on where you're currently getting business, and I think you'll do really well there. And I'll stick around here for a bit, so if there's any other questions.
He will stick around. We'll take pictures. Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
thanks.
Mark. Thank you. Thank you.